Hey, what's going on guys? It's your boy Freddy. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be going over the dividend tracker that I've been working on for quite some time now. The tracker is fully complete and today I'll be showcasing all of the features and options that it offers. This is an excellent tracker for basically all investors, whether you just started investing or if you have a sizable portfolio. This tracker offers excellent information and it is very intuitive regardless of your proficiency in Excel and Google Sheets. I've made the tracker so that it's semi-autonomous. You simply put in some basic information and the tracker will do all of the hard work for you. The best way to use it, in my opinion, is as an add-on to your investing with Wealthsimple or basically any broker. The brokers are very good for giving you basic information. This tracker takes that information and goes beyond the brokers, all the while having a smooth interface. This video will be broken into a few parts. First, I'll quickly go over the tracker, showing all of the options and features that it has to offer, and then I'll show how to initially set up the tracker with your holdings so that you can get it up and running. Now getting right into it, this first page here showcases all of your holdings. It shows your average cost, the current price of the company, daily change, your book or total cost, as well as what your position is currently worth, and it also shows your percent and dollar profit and loss. Moving over a little bit, you reach the dividend section, which shows the dividends per share, the overall yield, and one of my favorite features, your total annual dividends that you can expect from the company given your current position, which is really cool to see. And finally, you have the percent of the portfolio, which shows what percent that specific company makes up compared to the rest of the portfolio. Now basically all of the headers have filters on them, which lets you adjust your holdings to show you information in different ways. For example, if I go over at the daily percent change section, I can adjust the entire page to show me my holdings for the stock with the worst daily change to the stock with the best daily change. Now moving on to the transaction page, this simply shows where you put in all of your buys and sells. So anytime you make a purchase on Wealthsimple or whichever brokerage that you use, you'll come and buy to this page here, and this adjusts everything on the tracker from the number of shares you're holding to more advanced information like your new annual dividends that you can expect from your entire portfolio. Next up, we have the dividends received page, and similarly to the transaction page, you'll be able to put in your dividend information here. Now all of the information that you add to the tracker becomes organized and calculated to show you some visuals that we're going to go over in the visualization page here. On this page, you'll get a portfolio summary showing your current value as well as your total portfolio profit and loss. This information is also on your brokerage page, but what isn't on your brokerage page is the dividend summary. This section here shows you the total dividends that you have received as well as the monthly average that you can expect from your portfolio. It also calculates the portfolio dividend yield, showing you exactly what percent of the portfolio will be returns in dividends. So for example, my current yield is 1.81%. So that means for every additional $100 that goes into the portfolio, I can expect about $1.81 to come back in dividends. Next up, we have a section dedicated to a watch list. Here you can add whatever information that you'd like. So for example, I currently have on my watch list to add 1 share of VFV, 1 share of BNS. This just lets me know and reminds me that I have a few purchases on the docket that I can execute as I've been watching the companies and see that it may be time to make some additions. Moving on over, we have a beautiful graph showcasing the portfolio's dividend growth. This graph shows the month-by-month dividends we have received as well as the overall trend line shown by the red line here. This is an amazing visual to see the overall growth of the dividends within the portfolio, and I certainly love to see that the money is continuing to grow and grow and the snowball effect is slowly starting to take form. Finally, the two pie charts down here show the industry breakdown of the portfolio as well as the holding breakdown. This is information that is seen in the holdings page, but what it shows is in a visual manner so you can simply come over and quickly glance to see where your portfolio is at. For me, I love to see the industry breakdown currently shown at exactly 50% split between ETFs and individual stocks, as this is exactly where I'm trying to be at, and I can easily maintain that by taking a look at the pie chart. This is basically everything that's currently offered on the tracker, and in my opinion, it is some amazing information that's put together in a beautiful package that will hopefully be very easy to use by almost everyone. Now I'm going to go over how to initially add positions to the tracker and basically how to first get it up and running. It does take a little getting used to, but after putting in only 1 or 2 positions, you get the hang of it pretty easily as it's quite intuitive and there's not that many steps. So let's just jump into a blank tracker so I can showcase just that. Alright, now that we're in a blank tracker, you can see that when you first get the tracker, it is pretty empty, but very quickly here you'll be able to get it up and running. Now the first thing you'll want to do is actually jump over to Wealthsimple or whatever brokerage that you're using to get some data. For me, I'll be using Wealthsimple, and the first company that I want to transfer over is VFV. The only information that you need is the average cost and the current amount of shares you hold. So for me, that's 48 shares at a cost basis of $82.70. Jumping back to the tracker, you'll see that there are certain areas that have blue highlighting to them. These indicate the boxes that you have to add information to. The white boxes are the ones that have calculations already in them, and the tracker will do all of the hard calculations and formatting for you, and all you have to input is some basic information. So I'll input the ticker, the exchange, the industry, and the shares that I have here, and that will calculate my total cost to purchase the shares. And because this is the first time I'm adding this company to the tracker, I will need to input this information in the holdings page. So to do that, come on over to the holdings page and let's add some basic information in. So ticker, company, industry, and the exchange. Now you see that the tracker automatically fills in everything else for you, including the amount that you're holding, the current price, as well as your total profit and loss, which you can see matches up perfectly with what Wealthsimple shows. Moving over a little to simply let the tracker know what type of dividend is in the tracker. So for VFE, I'd consider it a growth-oriented ticker, as the S&P generally has a focus on growth compared to dividends, and with that, you can see all of the dividend information as well. Now every time you make another purchase or sale of VFE, all you have to do is input that into the transaction page. So I buy, say, another 10 shares at $100, the holding will automatically adjust everything for you, and you don't have to input the information here basically ever again. Now let's put in another holding just so we can see the process again. First, we go to transactions and add our buy. Say that's Bank of Nova Scotia. So you can see here that the company automatically gets filled first, but it's still very important that we do put the exchange in, as sometimes just the way Google Sheets works, it will put the American version of the company that's listed on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. This will cause some issues when you look at the holdings page as well as with some calculations. So make sure you let the system know exactly what exchange you bought from, and in our case that's the Toronto Stock Exchange. And this is a financial industry. We bought it in CAD, and say we purchased 5 shares at $80. Then, because it is the first time that we're inputting the company, we add the ticker and the industry as well as the exchange here in the holdings page. And let's say that this is a dividend-oriented company, as BNS has a huge focus on their dividend compared to growth. And with that, we can see all of the dividend information for the company as well. Sweet. So now that we have that figured out, let's say we receive some dividends from BNS. All we have to do is head on over to the dividends received page and input the information there. We received the dividends from BNS on the Toronto Stock Exchange. We received hypothetically $5, which was also in CAD, in the year of 2021 during the month of September. So because this tracker doesn't know exactly when you started using the tracker, we will have to let it know what month it is with this chart here. So I have it right now filled out for the next year or so, and this chart simply links with the dividend growth chart here on the visuals page. So depending on the month that you start using the portfolio or the month you first receive your first dividends, you can change that up for you for the starting month so that it lines up with your dividends received. So there are a few miscellaneous things that I want to go over, one being the industry dropdown and the dividend type dropdown. If there is a sector that you would like to add or a dividend type you would like to add, you can come on over to the raw data page and add it under the line highlighted in blue, and this will show up anywhere that there is a drop-down menu. So that is basically all of the work you really ever have to do with the tracker. Everything else either gets displayed or filled in for you, which I think is really sweet, and it really fits in with the whole passive income and simplicity that I like to focus on here, where with just a little bit of work, you're able to see some amazing results. I'll leave a link in the description down below if you guys are interested in checking it out. And if you have any questions whatsoever with the portfolio, feel free to leave a comment or shoot me an email, which can be found in the description, and I'll love to help you out any way that I can. With that said, you guys, remember to leave a like down below, as it really does help the channel to grow, and consider subscribing for more investing videos like this to come. Take care.